The sun was barely pushing over the horizon when Aiden Marsh skidded his motorcycle to a trembling stop on the side of the dusty rural road, his heart hammering as if it had been yanked from his chest. There, lying in a narrow ditch, was a tiny, trembling creature, brown, soaked from the dew, shivering violently, and letting out the faintest whimper, a sound so fragile it sliced through him like a blade. Aiden dropped to his knees, his breath catching as he lifted the helpless bundle. The creature's eyes fluttered open, filled with fear, confusion, and a desperate plea for warmth. And in that moment, Aiden, who had spent months feeling like he was drowning in his own loneliness, felt something awaken inside him. He clutched the little body to his chest, whispering into the morning air that everything would be all right, even though he wasn't sure he believed it himself. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of doing good, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our W Insights. Let's spread hope together. Aiden had never been the kind of man who believed in signs or messages from the universe. He had spent the last year in quiet torment, losing his father, struggling through an exhausting job at a mechanical workshop, and silently enduring the emotional distance growing between him and those he cared about. Grief made everything heavy. The world felt muted, dull. But now, as he wrapped his jacket tightly around the trembling little creature, he felt a spark, small, but undeniable. He named the tiny animal Milo before he even reached his bike, because something about the way the creature clung to life reminded him of resilience, of hope. Aiden raced toward the nearest veterinary clinic in town. The engine roared beneath him, scattering dust and pebbles behind as he navigated the rural road curves. The morning light turned golden, cutting through the mist like a gentle hand brushing away darkness. Milo pressed against him, making faint noises that sounded like half squeaks, half cries. Aiden whispered reassurances, though he wasn't sure Milo could even hear him. He was terrified of losing this little life he'd just stumbled upon, and terrified that he wouldn't be able to help him. The clinic was small, tucked between a grocery store and a pharmacy. Aiden stormed through the door, startling the receptionist, who nearly spilled her cup of tea. Please help him," Aiden begged, his voice cracking, fear dripping from every syllable. The receptionist signaled urgently to the back room, calling for Dr. Rowan Hale, the clinic's senior veterinarian. Dr. Hale emerged, wiping his hands on a cloth. His hair was silver, and his face was lined with the traces of years spent caring for animals. Aiden placed Milo gently into his arms. Dr. Hale's expression softened at first. He leaned in, inspecting the little creature's eyes, ears, paws. But then something shifted. His features tightened. His brows pulled together. His lips thinned. Aiden's stomach twisted. Dr. Hale stepped closer to the light, turning Milo gently. His eyes flicked to Aiden's. The color drained from his face, leaving behind a pale, almost ghostly expression. Aiden felt a wave of dread rise in him, thick and suffocating. What's wrong?" he asked, voice trembling. Dr. Hale didn't answer immediately. He swallowed hard, as though trying to steady himself. "Aiden, we need to talk in the exam room." The words sliced through Aiden like a blade, cold and unforgiving. He followed stiffly, his legs suddenly heavy. The exam room smelled of disinfectant and sterile cotton. Milo lay on the table now, small and fragile. Aiden stared, his breathing ragged. Dr. Hale finally spoke. "Aiden, I need you to understand something. Milo isn't a puppy." The room tilted. Aiden blinked. "What? What do you mean? Of course he's a puppy. Look at him, he's tiny, he's scared." Dr. Hale inhaled deeply. "He's a wolf cub." Silence swallowed the room. Aiden stared, his mind refusing to compute the words. A wolf cub? How could that be? Milo looked too small, too vulnerable. He didn't resemble anything wild, anything dangerous. He just looked helpless. Dr. Hale continued gently, "He's very young. Maybe only a few weeks. There are signs: his teeth, his paws, the structure of his skull. He's not domesticated. He belongs in the wild." Aiden felt his chest tighten. But he needs help. He'll die out there. He was alone. Abandoned. Injured? Dr. Hale nodded. Yes. And you did the right thing bringing him here. But this changes things. Keeping him isn't safe, for you or for him. We need to contact wildlife rescue. Aiden felt something collapse inside him. His mind flashed back to the moment he found Milo, to the spark of warmth that had swelled inside him for the first time in months. He remembered how Milo clung to him, how warm and real he felt against his chest. He wasn't ready to lose him. Not now. Not when Milo had given him a sense of purpose he didn't know he needed. But Dr. Hale saw the conflict in his eyes. Aiden, he said softly, sometimes doing what's right hurts. Sometimes helping means letting go. Aiden's heart throbbed with a painful, sinking weight. Still, he nodded. He didn't trust his voice. The Wildlife Rescue Center was alerted, and Milo remained at the clinic under supervision. Aiden was asked to fill out a few forms, but his hands shook so badly it took him 3 tries just to write his name. He sat in the waiting area afterward, staring blankly ahead. People walked in and out. The light shifted. His phone buzzed with messages he ignored. His mind circled around the same thought, I can't lose him. Not another thing. Not another reason to break. Yet, even in that pain, he knew Dr. Hale was right. He had always admired strength in others but struggled to find it within himself. Milo, this tiny creature, had shown him something in those few hours, how fragile life was, and how powerful compassion could be. Days passed. Aiden couldn't stop thinking about Milo. Every moment at the workshop became a blur of metal clanking, engines roaring, and the faint ache in his heart that refused to fade. He returned to the clinic daily, asking about Milo's condition. Dr. Hale grew warmer each time, sensing Aiden's genuine care. The wolf cub was growing stronger but remained anxious, refusing to eat unless Aiden was nearby. That bond, unexpected and unexplainable, deepened every day. Eventually, the wildlife rescue team allowed Aiden's supervised visits at the rehabilitation center. The facility sat on the outskirts of town, surrounded by trees and rolling fields. When Aiden arrived, Milo reacted immediately, tiny squeaks turning into soft howls, his tail twitching, his paws scrambling toward the enclosure door. Aiden knelt and pressed his fingers through the mesh. Milo leaned his head against them, eyes half closed, trusting. Aiden spoke softly, his voice filled with affection he didn't realize he was capable of. Hey, little guy. Look at you, stronger every day. The rehabilitation staff noticed the connection. They worked to slowly acclimate Milo to his environment, helping him learn to hunt small prey, run through the trees, strengthen his instincts. It was a process of teaching him to survive in the wild, where he belonged. And though Aiden knew this, every milestone came with a sting, pride mixed with the pain of knowing each step brought Milo closer to independence and farther from him. Months went by. Milo grew healthier, taller, more aware. His eyes sharpened, his body strengthened. But whenever Aiden visited, the wolf cub, no longer tiny, would rush toward him with the same urgency he had shown on day 1. That loyalty pierced Aiden every time.